Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching the first two episodes of Shogun, starring Anna Sawai, Cosmo Jarvis, and Hiroyuki Sanada, and based off the book by James Clavell. Now, I haven't heard too much about the original novel that this is based on, but judging from the trailers, it genuinely looked like an interesting series to take place in 1600 Japan, especially considering that it would handle some interesting topics such as the rivalry of religions between Catholics and Protestants, culture clash between Europeans and the Japanese, and it would feature tons of betrayal, tons of warfare, and also some genuine character drama that some people say has rivals Game of Thrones. So after watching the first two episodes, I have to say, this is definitely suspenseful and thrilling at its finest on TV. But let's get to the story, shall we? The story revolves around John Blackthorne, played by Cosmo Jarvis, who is an English sailor who is also, it was basically a merchant going through a route in the sea to avoid the Portuguese. But when he ends up finding his way to Japan, he's captured along with the rest of his men and basically held prisoner by Lord Yoshi Toranaga, played by Hiroyuki Sanada. He is also held prisoner by five regents who are trying to take over Japan after the previous head, the Toki, passes away. As all of the regents seek to acquire the title of shogun, including Toranaga, they're basically on the brink of a civil war. So Toranaga has to rely on a few of his allies and a woman named Lady Mariko, played by Anna Sawai, to hopefully get things into his favor even while he's a prisoner. And with Blackthorne eventually willing to help out in his own way after finding a way for him to communicate with the Japanese and to tell them what's been going on between the Protestants, the Catholics, and himself, he finds himself entangled in a big plot that involves priests, assassination attempts, being held prisoner in several locations, bandits, and all the suspense and thriller stuff that you'd expect from this kind of setting. So basically, as I said in Blue Eye Samurai, I appreciate when a period piece happens to feel a lot like the period that it's based in, and the production values here definitely accomplish that. Everything from the clothing to the weapons to the overall visuals of Osaka and small fishing villages in Japan. Everything looks basically as you'd expect from the time period. And while there's the occasional bloody kill here and there, those moments don't get in the way of the character drama, which is where the majority of the plot is focused on. Thankfully, Cosmo Jarvis, Hiroyuki Sanada, Anna Sawai, and the rest of the cast are completely up to the task of playing these characters. Several of them do a lot of things that you wouldn't expect from main characters of this kind of story, but all of them happen to be identifiable and easy to either like or at the very least find interesting to follow throughout the series. And since this is going to be going on for 10 episodes, the first two have an important job of actually hooking us on this premise, and thankfully they certainly do. I love the language barrier between the characters. I love how their customs intertwine with each other and how they happen to work against each other, getting along, but also how they can learn from each other. And I also appreciate how the Council of Regents all have different goals and different reasons for wanting the Shogun title and control of Japan. Especially considering this whole story is based off the Tokugawa shogunate, which is a very interesting period to follow. So yeah, there's almost no negatives that I have so far, despite how the first two episodes do take a little while to settle in. Once they do, though, this feels like a show that could definitely be one of the best of the entire year. So I'll just keep following this week to week. See you next time.